Hello adventurers, it is I, Solus Venture, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So for today's video, I am going to be showing you guys a few tools that I have been using lately in my solo tabletop RPG sessions and adventures. I've been finding these tools like a lot more engaging, so these tools really help bring that process together for me. So we will dive right into it. The two that I wanted to highlight today is the Adventure Crafter and the Old School Revival Solo Role-Playing Guide. So I'm going to do the Adventure Crafter first, and then I'll dive into this. But if you have used Mythic, the Game Master emulator, this is a supplemental tool that kind of works really well with this. You do not need the Mythic Game Master emulator book to use Adventure Crafter. You can totally just use this on its own. But if you haven't heard of the Mythic Game Master emulator, just to summarize it, it just has a big fate chart, and you can ask all different types of questions, and then depending on the result, you will be given a yes, no, or a more complicated yes or no, depending on how you're trying to interpret the situation here. And then there's also random events and like tables that you can use that you are just open to interpret. There's also different scenes too for the tables. Yeah, it's just a really good book for a bunch of different tables. So this is the Mythic Game Master emulator. The difference between this and this is that in the name itself, it's kind of obvious, it literally crafts the adventure for you. And so there are different aspects to this tool. I'm gonna use my notes here as a guide. So the Adventure Crafter is great for NPC creation. So I will give you an example. There is a sheet here that you can photocopy and print out. There is a table where you can put characters from whatever you roll in this book, and you can put it here, and then while you're playing, let's say the fate chart is telling you that a new character comes into the scene, and then you can roll on this using a D100 to kind of see, is it a new character, or is it the most logical character? Maybe you're working with a certain NPC and the NPC comes back into the scene or something. And so yeah, this is a really great tool to create NPCs. So a few tables for NPCs. You can see here there is a character special trait. So depending on what you roll, it's a D100. You can see that the character could be an individual. It can be part of an organization, maybe like a faction or something. Maybe the character is an object. See, it says here examples might include a spaceship or something, or maybe it's a city teeming with culture. So yeah, these are just examples of how you can create an NPC and how you can tie it to the plot lines too. So here you can see maybe it's connected to a certain plot line, or here maybe it's connected to an existing character. There are so many different ways that you can use this tool to create an NPC. The other thing that I really like about this tool too is the tables of character identity. So you can see here, if you roll between a 1 to a 33, you can roll for 2 identities. You've probably seen me use this table in my solo Cairn campaign of Vinekin's Revenge. I've been using this table for the identities here, generic descriptors. And so yeah, it is really great for coming up with NPCs. The other thing about this is you can use this book for your entire campaign or you can even use it for side quests. Like let's say you have like a party of adventurers and they just finished their like big campaign, but maybe there's like little side quests that you want them to go on, and then you can totally use this book to create those side quests. And so it says it here in, where is it? Okay. So it says it here for Paths of the Adventure Crafter. So you can use this entire thing. So meaning if you fill out, you can totally just fill out this entire like adventure sheet, and then you have your entire campaign. You can do it that way, and you write everything out, and then you have your party of adventurers, or if you're just playing solo, you can have your PC just go through each turning point of the adventure. So you can do it that way. You can also use this as like a adventure seed. And so yeah, like it says here, you don't need it to construct an entire adventure. Maybe you just need an adventure seed, and that's a starting point that includes some kind of action that will draw the characters into a larger adventure. And it can be as simple or as complicated as you want it to be. And so you start with turning point 1. So for example here, so you start on turning point 1, and then it's up to you if you want to decide if it's going to be a new plot point, a development of like an existing plot point, for example, or it could be the conclusion of the adventure. And then you roll on the tables to figure out the plot points after you roll on the theme. And so for themes, for example, I'll find the table here. Yeah, so these are the plot points table, and you can see it is separated by different themes here. So there's action, tension, mystery, social, or personal. And so depending on what the theme is, and then you roll a D100. Let's say I roll a D100 and I got a 30, and the theme is action. So I go here, I look for 30, and look at that, it's an ambush. So you would put ambush on the plot point here, and then you also kind of choose like who's involved in that plot point. So there are 5 plot points. You don't need to use all 5. It's really up to you how you want to use this tool. And then after your adventurers go through all the plot points, then it's time for the second turning point, and then you continue on like that. So it's up to you if you want to like just roll on all the plot points and figure out what your adventurers are going to be doing, or you can do it as you're going through the adventure. And that's kind of what I'm doing with my Cairn campaign, is I'm actually like kind of keeping that element of surprise and not really knowing like what's happening. So after my character finishes certain plot points, then I just like keep going until it's the next turning point. So yeah, it's really great for main campaign, creating side quests, adventure seeds, or crafting scenes. If you want to just fill this out as you go through your adventure, so that is how you create scenes, is by rolling on the theme and seeing what you come up with. Like let's say the theme is personal, and then we rolled like I don't know, like a 52 or something, and then we go try to find personal, and we go to 52, and look at that, 52 enemies, and it's something tied to personal. So maybe like the enemies are tied to my PC. Maybe like the enemies used to be like really good friends with the PC or something. So that's how you would use this adventure crafter. So it's really good for NPC creation, crafting your entire campaign, or crafting it as you go. Really good for side quests, adventure seeds, and crafting scenes. Like maybe there's a scene and you're not really sure where it kind of goes next. The adventure crafter is really good for that. So this is a really nice tool, and you can use it for any art RPG. I've used this with D&D for example. It's a really nice tool here. All right, okay, so now we are gonna go into this one, the Old School Revival Solo Role-Playing Guide. So as you can see in the name, it is really a good guide for OSR kind of systems. This book, first off, it has like really gorgeous art. It's published by Arcane Sword Press, and it is so immersive with all the different art and the details too. Like, it's so nice. I'm actually kind of using this as even artistic inspo as well. So yeah, but the cool thing about this is the part I really want to highlight, is the solo referee procedures. So it's very similar to how Mythic kind of works, but I feel like it's a much more simplified fate chart. And so this uses a lot of d6s actually. So for simple questions or complex questions, this is the process here. So for simple questions, you roll a 2d6 and then you add the results together. So odd totals are yes, even totals are no. And then any results where double numbers are rolled, they are not added together, but are instead consulted by the table below. So here you can see the modification. So there's a yes and, a yes but, no but, or a no and. And so you can even ask it very like complex questions. And so you would need to roll a d10. So depending on the result here, you can see there's like a revival. You can see there's a rival, a monster. There's where, a farmland or forest. Why? Maybe they want control. Maybe they're religious, or there's like influence. You can see social. There's magic, violence, monster, etc. So there are so many ways for you to use the simple and complex questions tables for your adventure. So I've been using this a lot more than my Mythic one for my OSR campaigns. I'm using the system beneath the Sunken Catacombs. So I'm actually using this system with this, and it's been really great using both of these together. But anyways, they even have dungeon crawling like tables here too. And what's cool about it is like they even give you like dungeon details. Like you can see different things, listen to different things, maybe you smell something. And then there's also wilderness exploration. I really like this. There's like terrain, and then you can see the different, like if you get lost or something, then you can roll on this. You can see how hard or easy it is to construct shelter. Maybe there's defense types here, or foraging and hunting. If your explorers are in the middle of nowhere and they need to eat to survive, then you can use the foraging or hunting results here. So yeah, so here you can even see there is a dungeon crawling little like table here. So you can explore a dungeon and then you roll a d8 dice to determine the entrance of the room, and then these are examples that you can use. You can even see the dungeon type. Maybe it's ruins, a cavern, a monster lair, etc. And even dungeon corridors. Like they go into so much detail with this stuff, and yet it's so like simplified in this kind of tables and system here. The dungeon room generation. So you can even see if it's like square, rectangle, Maybe like what's the room function? Maybe it was a storage, armory, workshop, barracks, etc. And then there's also traps in here too, which is really cool. And then like the trap room here. And then there is for, where is it? Oh yeah, here. So like maybe there's like a point of interest. So like landmark features when surveying the landscape from an elevated position, and see if there's like smoke, if there's a tower, a stronghold, etc. Maybe a settlement too. And then wilderness encounters as well. Maybe there's a road. You can see maybe like a commoner dwelling. And then encounter types, and these would be like the neutral kinds. Like maybe you come across commoners, laborers, etc. So I actually want to try to use this for a different cairn campaign, like maybe not the one that I'm doing right now, but yeah. And then they even have searching and looting tables too. So yeah, it's a really great tool. But yeah, the gameplay mechanics too of this is it uses a d6 for checks. So I guess it depends on the system that you use, but usually for the d6 kind of check, it would be 1 would be a success, and then 6 would be a fail. But yeah, this is a really neat tool with Beneath the Catacombs, which I'll do a separate video on this one, but I've just kind of started getting into this one, and I don't have like hex crawl like paper, so I'm actually kind of drawing the map as I am using the what do you call it, the exploration tables here. So so I am drawing out the map as I am doing the wilderness exploration here. So for example, for this, I am rolling on this table here, and I'm starting here at Amber Bay. So that's where my character is starting, and she's traveling through, and she is going through a forest right now. She is staying on the trail, and she's not lost yet, and she came across a river, and she's making camp right now. But yeah, this is a really great little tool here. I still want to try to figure out like a good flow of play using this with Beneath the Sunken Catacombs. I'm still trying to like figure that out. But yeah, so these are the tools that have been so helpful in my adventures. So it's the Old School Revival Solo Role-Playing Guide and the Adventure Crafter. Let me know if you have any questions about these. I'm also still kind of new and learning OSR. I kind of started my solo tabletop sessions with just D&D 5e in mind, just because that was like the most popular, the easiest kind of one to like get into. And then I've been kind of dabbling into like other systems, and OSR I've been really enjoying. So yeah, I hope to use this one more with the Beneath the Catacombs, and then my cairn, and with cairn as well. But anyways, yeah, so that is it for today's video. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you guys for all the support, and I really hope that this video was helpful for you to see if these tools will be useful for your adventures. So yeah, have a fabulous day.